So first of all, congratulations to Djokovic for another record-breaking victory this weekend, and he beat Medvedev in another repeat match of the US Open. This time it was Djokovic who emerged victorious, and we will talk about the match statistics and how Djokovic was able to win this match. But at the first sight, this was, as you can see in the score, a very close match. The first set went to Medvedev, then Djokovic came back strongly and he continued his momentum in the third set as well and was able to get a double break and be the winner in the end. So let's get to the match statistics first. So the key factors for Djokovic, I would see here, as you can see in the match statistics, are the first serve. So any percentage above 65 on the first serve is a very good percentage in a close match, in a final where it's tough, it's not easy. So 66% for me is a very good first serve percentage. Medvedev is not far behind, but again 58% against one of the greatest returners in the game, who is Djokovic. I think it has to be a little more than that. If you see the first serve points won, 79%, a good healthy percentage for Djokovic, 59 for Medvedev. Again, this is due to the fact that Djokovic is such a great returner, and also because of the court speed that we'll talk about in the next slide. That the court speed also plays a part. This is not the fastest courts. It used to be, in the history, but now it has, decreased the speed of the court to match to the other important courts in the you know in tennis, and that is why the speed has been slowed down. When you see the breakpoint save, all the important points were mostly won by Djokovic in this match. You can see 7 out of 10 breakpoints saved. This is what these guys do best. Whether it is Djokovic or Nadal, they are able to save breakpoints when it really matters, and also at the same time able to convert breakpoints when they do get them. So as you can see, Medvedev was only able to save one breakpoint out of the 6 breakpoints that he faced. Now, when you see first serve return points, you can see 41% first serve return points won by Djokovic, and Medvedev won just 21% of the first serve return points. When you talk about second serve, you can see that Medvedev was actually better when returning and winning the second serve points. So, and another interesting factor is the points less than 5 shots and points greater than 15 shots. So when you talk about rallies, you will see that Djokovic is actually the player who wins the shorter rallies, less than 5 shots, or maybe 5 to 10 shots, 5 to 15 shots. But when it goes to a very long rally like 15, above 15 shots, then it was mostly Medvedev who was able to win the points in the end. But Djokovic, I think, realized that during the match, midway through the match, and he started playing a bit aggressive towards the second set and also in the third set. He started serving well and also trying to finish the points early. If he was trying to go for a drop shot, that also he tried to pull the trigger early so that he can gain the upper hand from the start of the rally itself. So now if you see the key factors in the match. As I was talking previously, the court speed did play a part. We'll see that in the next slide that the speed of the court has been reduced in the Paris Masters. Previously, it used to be played on the carpets, then it was brought to the hard courts, and now the speed is not that great, and it actually helps Djokovic because it gives him more time to set up, and then he has the opportunity to play aggressive or play defensive. Whereas if you see in the US Open, Djokovic was clearly struggling with his fitness. His legs were not there. He was pointing to his legs a lot of time throughout the match. And Medvedev is a very clever player. He's a very intelligent player. He understood that the court is not working in favor of Djokovic. He's maybe not that much fit, so he played a really aggressive game. He was going for his shots, and once he got the first set, Medvedev confidence of Medvedev highly increased. And if you see the second set, when Medvedev was facing 2 or 3 breakpoints in the second game of the US Open final, where he managed to somehow hold his serve, and then when he got to Djokovic's serve, he was all over it. He was trying to be really aggressive, and it paid off because the court was faster than this court in Paris. And if you see this court, I mean, even if you try to hit a winner, it's not that easy. because both these players, Medvedev as well as Djokovic, play from the back of the court, and also some way, back behind the baseline. So it's not easy to hit winners. And in that sort of scenario, it favors Djokovic because it gives him a lot of options, whether he wants to play aggressive, whether he wants to be defensive. He can use his slice to great effect. He can also use his drop shot. He can also chip and charge and go to the net. So a lot of options are open. And Medvedev, he likes to stay on the baseline. He can do anything on the court. It depends, what his mindset is, what his approach is. He also is a very clever player. But if you are Djokovic and you are playing well, if you are fit, then of course, you'll back yourself to win against any player in the world, and that is what Djokovic did. So the court speed played a part, then Djokovic's fitness. As we all know, after US Open, Djokovic took a long break, and after the Olympics, he is quite fresh now, and that's why I think there were no fitness issues, and Djokovic was really high on energy. And if you see Djokovic's deep returns and aggressive baseline game, you will understand, he was hitting his backhand down the line to great effect, very deep shots. He was moving Medvedev around, and then he was also able to, come to the net and finish the points from there. The first serve percentage and breakpoint conversion rate we have already seen and discussed. And also an important factor was that there was no pressure as such on Djokovic because he had already secured the world number one ranking, I think in the semi-finals or the quarterfinals when he won that match. So in the finals, although of course the pressure of final was there, but it was not like he was going for a calendar grand slam or he was going for his number one ranking. All that was already achieved. So he could play, with less pressure, and that is why after he lost the first set, he did not panic. In the second set, he just started playing a bit aggressive and started to control his unforced errors, maybe serve better, and all that paid off. And in the third set, you could see that he was not facing a lot of pressure. Djokovic was playing well. Medvedev was also playing well, but then Djokovic was better in the third set. And the point about court pace index that I was mentioning, now this is a statistic from not from today. It's not a recent stat. As you can see, it is from 2015 and 2016. But it just shows you that Paris, is not a really fast court surface. As you can see that the fastest is the Shanghai, which is like 43. It has the points, and then 29 is what you see in the Paris Masters, which is considered as a slow surface, and then London has 34. Now things might have changed, this is like 4 to 5 years back, so maybe some court speeds might have changed, but overall, if you find out, you'll see that Paris Masters, court surface speed is not that much right now. And even Medvedev was complaining in this tournament itself last week that the courts are playing too slow, and actually it helps Djokovic because Djokovic is able to get set, get use a lot of variety that he has in his game, and he can look to take advantage of any weaknesses of the opponents because he has that control on the slower surface, and because it's a hard court again, so it helps. But so that's the reasoning here, and let's move to the next slide. This is what I was mentioning. It's just a screenshot from the US Open final. And as you can see here, the score line is the second set. Djokovic has a break point. And if you see this point in the highlights, you'll see that Djokovic was not able to hit a slice correctly and it got to the net. And then he was hitting his legs, pointing out that his legs were not moving that well. He was tired, and so those were the reasons. I mean, if you try to compare this match with the match as the Paris Masters, you will see that first of all the court surface is different. The whole the criteria, the mindset of Djokovic was different because there he was already tired throughout the whole season. He had played a lot of matches. He had a lot of pressure to get to the calendar Grand Slam, and everyone was expecting him to win. He was the favorite, but right here in Paris, he was not the favorite. No one could say that Djokovic would clearly win because Medvedev had recently beaten him, and then Djokovic did not have that pressure as well. So a lot of factors combine, and then a result is made because some of the fans or some of the viewers, if they see the match, they would feel that if Medvedev has beaten Djokovic in the US Open in a Grand Slam in straight sets, then ideally he should be able to beat Djokovic here as well. So what is the difference? Why was Djokovic better in this Paris Masters final, and why was he not again defeated by Medvedev? So these are a lot the factors that we discuss are not just one. There are a lot of factors, and if you combine all of those, then it results to the end result. So it's not like there is one specific shot that Djokovic hit, or it's not like the first serve of Medvedev was not working, or maybe his backhand was not working. It's not like that, because both these players are top players, number one and number two in the world. It's very, very small margins that decide who will win. And I've told you that in this match, the court surface, the freshness in Djokovic's legs, the amount of pressure that Djokovic had in this match was far, far, far less as compared to the US Open. And of course, then the implementation, the deep baseline game, the aggressive play, and the first serve percentage, all these factors combined resulted in Djokovic's victory. So this is the analysis, guys. Let me know what you think about this match, and thanks for watching.